In one day, we are going to win the great state of Pennsylvania, and we are going to take back the White House. This election will decide whether we're ruled by a corrupt political class or whether we are ruled by yourselves, the people. It is time to reject a failed political elite that has bled this country dry. To all the people of Pennsylvania, I say, we are going to put the miners and the factory workers and the steel workers back to work. We're bringing our companies back. The trade policies of Bill and Hillary Clinton have destroyed manufacturing in your state and throughout the country. I want to take this moment to share a message with all of the Democratic voters in our country who are thirsting for change like everybody else. Everybody is thirsting for change. You're tired of a government that works only for Wall Street and the special interest. You're tired of the reckless foreign policy, the crazy wars that are never won. Hillary Clinton is the last stand for the Wall Street and special interest donors and to special interests themselves. And Hillary is the face of failure. She's the face of failure. She's the face of failed foreign policy. Real change begins. She is indeed the face of failure. Look at what she's done with emails. Look at the mess. Look at the mess. And look at the corruption. Real change begins immediately with the repealing and replacing of the disaster known as Obamacare. This is a great room. We had great victories in this room, by the way. Great victories in this room. And I went to school in Pennsylvania, and my kids went to school in Pennsylvania. So I guess we assume it's a good place to learn. Look, have you been seeing the polls, by the way? Oh, boy. Oh, boy. See the dishonest people back there, the media, the totally dishonest people. They are so dishonest. They are so dishonest, folks. You can't even read articles in certain papers anymore. New York Times is a total lie. You can't, it is so false, nothing to do with me. I'm just telling you, such lies, such fabrication, such made-up stories. Now, the Times is going out of business pretty soon. That's the good news. But such made-up stories, such vicious made-up stories. But I'll tell you, they're going a little crazy because we're leading in Ohio. We're leading in Iowa. We're leading in New Hampshire, where I'm going to be in a little while. We're doing fantastically well in North Carolina. I think we're leading. We, I believe, are leading in Florida. And now Hillary just announced she's going to additional stops. She's going to Michigan, traditionally not really a Republican state. But, you know, I've been talking, I was Man of the Year in Michigan a number of years ago, and I started telling and talking about your car business is being stolen from you. I've been saying it for years and years and years. And you know what? Michigan now agrees. We're leading in Michigan. We're leading. And when I heard that crooked Hillary is going there tonight, she had to. Nobody thought in terms of Michigan. When I heard, I figured, you know what? I have nothing to do tonight, so I'll go there tonight and give it the last word, okay? So after this, I'm going to New Hampshire. And then I'm going to Michigan. Oh, we're going to have a great victory tomorrow, folks. We're going to have a great victory. They have no idea. The dishonest media has no idea. Actually, they do have an idea. They're saying, what is going on? And look at these people and look at this enthusiasm. There's nothing like it. By the way, and Jess, I have to say, this is considered, in the history of this country, this is actually, and you've been hearing it, this is considered the greatest movement. Nobody's ever seen anything like this, folks. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. And you know, I was thinking today, it's a movement, if you really think about it, it's a movement of common sense. It's a movement of competence. It's not a movement where we give $150 billion to Iran, where we give them $400 million in cash, but that turns out to be $1.7 billion in cash to Iran for hostages, which our president lied about. And just one other thing. Why is he campaigning all the time? He ought to be working on jobs, on getting rid of ISIS, on our borders, on our health care, which is failing so badly. Boy, oh boy. And she can't get anybody to go to her rallies, so she gets Jay-Z. He uses the worst language I have ever heard. And by the time he's finished, what's happened? What happens? He and Beyonce, right? They're finished. By that time, most of the people have left. So she thinks she's getting people. By the time she speaks, they're all gone anyway. She should just take a small room and talk. Talk. Just take a small room and talk. It's just been announced that the residents of Pennsylvania are going to experience a massive double-digit premium hike. So high that I won't tell you what it is. It's very high. All 67 counties in Pennsylvania, most of which I won in the primaries, right? Almost all. Almost every one of them are losing Obamacare insurers next year. That puts you in a bad position. But the truth is, it's not going to matter because we are going to repeal it and replace it. Not going to matter. Don't worry about it. So you can leave here happy. Premiums are surging. Companies are leaving. Insurers are fleeing. Doctors are quitting. And deductibles are going through the roof. Yet crooked Hillary Clinton wants to double down on Obamacare, making it even more expensive than it is right now. I'm asking for your vote so we can repeal and replace Obamacare and save health care for every family in Pennsylvania. And by the way, for every family in this country. Real change also means restoring honesty to our government. Hillary Clinton is the most corrupt person ever to seek the office of the presidency of the United States. She's threatened national security. She sold her office to the highest bidder. And then, to cover her tracks, she deleted 33,000 emails after receiving a congressional subpoena. She should not be allowed to run for president. She's being protected by a rigged system. And part of the rigged system is the dishonest media. Believe me, they're rigging the system. True. It's true. Don't worry, they never show the crowds, folks. They never. They show my face. Boom, boom, never show the crowd. It took over a year for the FBI to review 50,000 emails. In just 8 days, they reviewed 650,000 emails. So now it's up to the American people to deliver justice at the ballot box tomorrow. You got to get out and vote. Let's swamp them. Pennsylvania, let's swamp them. You got to get out. Our country has never, ever done anything like they're doing right now when it comes to justice. James Cartwright, 4-star general, 2 weeks ago, admitted to one mistake. And he did it on the basis of national security, he said. And I can understand that. He may go to jail for up to 5 years. General Petraeus' life has been destroyed for doing 1/100th of what Hillary Clinton did. So sad. So sad. Honestly, it's a disgrace. And now she's allowed to run for president, and General Cartwright will end up being in jail. My contract with the American voter begins with a plan to end government corruption and take back our country from the special interests and the donors. I want the entire corrupt Washington establishment to hear the words from all of us. When we win tomorrow, we are going to Washington, D.C. to drain the swamp. They say we're tied in Pennsylvania. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think we're going to blow them out tomorrow in a lot of different ways. Blow them out. No way. This is not the sound of a second-place finisher, that I can tell. No, they have us tied. Don't forget, we were 12 points down 3 weeks ago. And then after the debates, all of a sudden, we started going up. We started going up, and it was great. And now they have us even, but I actually think we're much better than that in Pennsylvania. I do, and so do you. Get out there and vote. At the core of my contract is my plan to bring back our jobs. Pennsylvania has lost almost 40% of its manufacturing jobs since NAFTA. A deal signed by Bill Clinton and supported by his lovely wife, Hillary Clinton. Lovely lady. America has lost 70,000 factories since China entered the World Trade Organization, another Bill and Hillary-backed disaster. We are living through the greatest jobs theft in the history of the world. A Trump administration will stop the jobs from leaving America, and we will stop the jobs, finally, from leaving Pennsylvania. And very simply, folks, very simply, and you haven't heard this, very simply, if a company wants to fire their workers, leave Pennsylvania, and move to another country like Mexico, and then ship their products back into the United States, we will make them pay a 35% tax on those products. And you know what's going to happen? They're not going to leave. And if they do, that's okay. The country will make a lot of money. But they're not going to leave. They're not going to leave. Now, your politicians could have thought of that. Some of them can't, for they have other problems. We will renegotiate NAFTA, one of the worst deals, the single worst trade deal ever made in the history of this world. It's true. We'll stand up to China and stop the job-killing Trans-Pacific Partnership, which Hillary Clinton wants. You know, she called it the gold standard, and then she lied during the debate. And she said, I never said that. I said, yes, you did. You called it the gold standard. Turned out she was lying. Turned out. Of course, you could look at it differently. It is the gold standard for the other side, not for the United States. For the other side, it's good. How about this? How about this? How about getting the questions for the debate? Okay. They fed her illegally. They fed her the questions for the debate. Donna Brazile. They fed her the questions for the debate. And she never came and... They fed her the questions to the debate, and she didn't say, I can't do this, I'm sorry, it's so unethical. Can you imagine if I was given the questions to the debate? What would have happened? The biggest stories all over the world. You don't even read this. You read a little bit about Donna Brazile, but you don't read this. They gave her the questions to debates, numerous debates against Bernie Sanders. And Bernie Sanders... he is really upset. I would bet you he would wish that he didn't give her that little nod because he made a deal with the devil. You know it. He ruined the legacy. He really had a very important legacy going, folks. He ruined his legacy when he did that. And he's got to be very embarrassed. He's got to be very, very embarrassed. As part of our plan to bring back jobs, we are going to lower taxes on American business from 35% to 15%. And we will massively cut taxes for the middle class, the forgotten people, the forgotten men and women of this country who built our country. We will massively lower taxes. It's in our plan. And I'll tell you, Hillary, and you see her plan, she is going to raise taxes substantially, folks. We're the highest tax nation in the world. She's going to raise taxes. Figure that one out. We will lift the restrictions on American energy, including shale, oil, natural gas, and clean coal. Hillary has openly stated she wants to shut down the mines and ban shale production. You folks can't be too happy about that, I guess. We are going to unleash an energy revolution right here in Pennsylvania. We will cancel billions of dollars in global warming payments to the United Nations. Billions and billions and billions. And use that money to rebuild the infrastructure of the United States. And we will put our miners back to work, and we will put our steel workers back to work. They're going back to work. We will rebuild our inner cities. The African American community, the Hispanic community, living in the inner city, have been treated very unfairly. Crime that is so bad, and I say it, you can't sometimes walk to a store, you get shot. Horrible education and no jobs. No jobs. For 100 years, Democrats have ruled the inner cities. Unabated, unbroken. We are going to fix our inner cities. We're going to bring back jobs. We're going to bring back safety. We're going to bring education to the inner cities. And I say, because there's such unbelievable potential in terms of people within our inner cities. And I say, honestly, folks, what do you have to lose? It's so bad now. What do you have to lose? I will fix it. We are going to spend, and we are going to bring those jobs back. We are going to fix our inner cities. What do you have to lose to the African American community and to the Hispanic community? And by the way, take a look at what's happening in Florida and other places. The African American community likes Donald Trump, and they're not liking voting for Hillary Clinton very much. They're not showing up. They don't want to vote for her. The Hispanic community, the numbers are becoming great. You know, the Cubans, they gave me an award, Bay of Pigs Award, last week. The entire Cuban community of Miami, Bay of Pigs Association. No, but a lot of trends are very disturbing to the media. I'll tell you, you look at what's going on. And my numbers with the African American community are, I knew that was going to happen. I knew it. But we're going to fix the inner cities. We will become a rich nation again. But to be a rich nation, we must also be a safe nation. Hillary Clinton wants a 550% increase in Syrian refugees flowing into our country. Her plan will import generations of terrorism, extremism, and radicalism into your schools and throughout your communities. When I'm elected president, we will suspend the Syrian refugee program, and we will keep radical Islamic terrorists the hell out of our country. Have no choice. We have no choice. A Trump administration will also secure and defend the borders of the United States. And yes, we will build a great wall. Are you ready? And who is going to pay for that wall? 100% correct. They will. They have unbelievable how they've done with our country. I was with the president of Mexico 3 months ago. Terrific. It was a terrific meeting. But, you know, when you have highways going into a country, it's got to be like a two-way highway. Right now, they get all the jobs. They get all the factories and plants. They get all the income. They get all the money, the taxes. We get unemployment and we get drugs. We get nothing. We get nothing. That'll all change, folks. It'll change very, very fast. And it'll be a two-lane highway, maybe one lane for a little while, but one way coming here, but just for a little while. We have to catch up. This is a lot of years. A lot of years we've been abused by people that don't know what they're doing. A lot of years we've been abused by stupid politicians, very stupid politicians. Hillary Clinton supports totally open borders. There goes your country. And her plan gives you Social Security and Medicare benefits. You know, she wants to give them to illegal immigrants. We're going to take care of our veterans, folks. We're going to take care of our veterans. Hillary also strongly supports sanctuary cities like in San Francisco, where Kate Steinle was murdered by an illegal immigrant, deported at least 5 times. Couldn't keep him out. We're going to keep him out. They come back 5 years. They come back again 10 years. Believe me, nobody's coming back. Okay? We will cancel all federal funding to sanctuary cities. We will stop illegal immigration, deport all criminal aliens, and dismantle every last criminal gang and cartel threatening our citizens. Have to do it. Have to do it. Have to do it. We will also repeal the Obama-Clinton defense sequester and rebuild our badly depleted military. This will be a national effort, and it means a new future for Philadelphia's Navy shipyard, right? I know it well. I went to school in Philadelphia. I know it well. It's going to be activated again, really activated. I'm honored to have the endorsement of more than 200 top admirals and generals and 22 Medal of Honor recipients, and the list is growing. The list is growing rapidly. And they told me on Mosul, the other night I was at Fort Bragg, right near Fort Bragg. We had 25,000, 27,000 people in a field. It was unbelievable. And some of the generals and admirals came up to me. We had a lot of them there. They said, Mr. Trump, you're so right on Mosul. You're so right. You know, I've been saying the element of surprise. 4 months ago, we say, our leaders, we are going to attack Mosul in 4 months. A month later, we say, we are going to attack Mosul in 3 months. We are going in because we're going to get the leaders of ISIS who are in Mosul. Well, you have to understand, they've already left when you said the 4 months, right? They're gone. Then 2 months, then 1 month, then 1 week, a few weeks ago. We will be going into Mosul in 1 week. Oh, these people are so stupid. The element of surprise. The great General Douglas MacArthur, right? Spinning in his grave. The great General George Patton. Can you imagine what they must be? You know, let's assume they could actually see what's happening. Maybe they are. Can you imagine what they must be thinking? These were great warriors, great generals. As we tell the enemy exactly what we're going to do, when we're going to be there, where we're going to enter. Oh, boy, folks, we're going to have such a different country. You're going to be so proud of your country again. Going to be so proud. Wouldn't it be nice if nothing were said by our politicians and by Obama? Wouldn't it be nice if they did the job and then had a news conference a week later and said, total victory? They're having a very hard time right now. The leaders and the people have gone. And the other fighters are entrenched, and it's much more difficult than they thought because of that. But the general said, you're so right on that, Mr. Trump. You're so right. Hillary and our failed establishment have dragged us into foreign wars that have made us less safe and never end. They never end. Shipped our jobs borders wide open at home. That will all change when we win the presidential election. Because from now on, it's going to be America first. America first. Is everybody going to vote tomorrow? Get your family, get your friends. No matter what you do, you've got to get out and vote. The whole world is laughing at us. They're laughing at this, at what's going on in our country. When you look at trade, we don't win. Trade with the world, trade. We're $800 almost billion in the hole with a trade deficit with the world. With China, almost $500 billion trade deficit. Who negotiates these deals? You know who negotiates them? Political hacks. Political hacks. Dealing against the toughest, smartest people that have been trained to do, they've been trained to do nothing but this. They laugh at the stupidity of our country. But you know what? We have the greatest negotiators in the world. We have the greatest business people in the world. We're going to use these great business people. Carl Icahn endorsed me, so many others. We're going to use our great leaders, our great business people. It's time. It's time. Think of it. Almost $800 billion. All this work, all this everything. And we have a deficit of almost $800 billion. To all Americans, I say it's time for change. It's time for leadership. In summing up, just think about what we can accomplish in the first 100 days of a Trump administration. We are going to have the biggest tax cut since Ronald Reagan. Hillary's going to raise your taxes. She's going to raise your taxes. We are going to protect your Social Security and Medicare. And you know what Hillary's going to do. You know what Hillary's going to do, right? Not good what she's going to do with your Social Security. All right, let's go. We will eliminate every unnecessary job-killing regulation, a disaster. Cancel every illegal Obama executive order. Protect your religious liberty. We will rebuild our badly depleted, and you know what's going on with the military. You see it all the time. We will rebuild our badly depleted military, and we are going to finally take care of our great veterans. Provide school choice and put an end to Common Core. We're bringing education local. We will support the men and women. These are great people of law enforcement. We'll support them. And we will save our Second Amendment, which is under siege. Hillary Clinton is going to do big, bad numbers on your Second Amendment vote. And appoint justices to the United States Supreme Court who will uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States. I can't believe I'm saying this. It started on June 16th, last year, June 16th. It's a long time. It's a long time. Thank you. I love you too, darling. Thank you. I can't believe I'm saying this. You have one day until the election, and now it's less than that. It's been a long journey. Remember, I entered, and we had 17 governors and senators, and, you know, the old story. And one by one, right, all together, one by one by one by one. And we ended up getting, by the way, some incredible endorsements. Ben Carson, Mike Huckabee, so many others. So many others. Almost all of them, not quite, but almost all of them. They signed the pledge and they honored the pledge. But almost all of them, and it's great. But now we have one flawed candidate to beat. One person who will not be able to do the job for you folks, will not be able to do the job. You have one day to make every dream you've ever dreamed for your country and your family come true. You have one magnificent chance to beat this corrupt system and to deliver justice for every forgotten man, every forgotten woman, and every forgotten child in this nation. It will never happen again. It will never happen again, folks. In 4 years, not going to happen. Not going to happen. It's never going to happen again. Do not let this opportunity slip away. We are fighting for every citizen who believes that government should serve the people, not the donors and not the special interests. And we are fighting to bring us all together as Americans. We're a divided nation. We're a very badly divided nation. We're going to be brought together. Just imagine what our country could accomplish if we started working together as one people under one God, saluting one American flag. Wouldn't it be nice? I'm asking you to dream big. Your vote. We are just one day away from the change you've been waiting for your entire life. You got to go out and vote. Get everybody to vote. It will be the greatest vote you ever cast in your lifetime. Because together, we will make America wealthy again. We will make America strong again. We will make America safe again. And yes, we will make America great again. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. God bless you, everybody. God bless you. Get out and vote. Thank you, Pennsylvania. Thank you.